Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the new moon activation. For those of you who are new to this process, my name is Kelly Kolodny, and I've been channeling the Angel Raphael for a really long time, since 1989. So tonight we are going to tune into Raphael and the angelic realm and whoever else comes through. For those of you who are new to this process, basically how it works is I'm just going to get quiet and close my eyes. And when I do that, I kind of summon the angel Raphael in a sense, and I'll make these toning sounds. And as I make the toning sounds, that helps me to connect with Raphael's energy. And then my hands kind of move around, my eyes will be closed, and I rock a little bit. It's not the most attractive look, but that's how it works. So when Raphael comes in, Raphael will say hello, and Raphael needs someone to greet Raphael back in order to connect with the energy. So my husband tonight will do the honors of that, and he'll say hello back. And then Raphael will come in and bring through a transmission of sorts about the new moon and what's going on right now on the earth, and facilitate us in the best way possible. A lot of times when we do these calls, we ask Raphael all kinds of interesting questions, and it can be very lively. We'll be doing that on Sunday at 4 o'clock East Coast time on the Ask an Angel call. And but tonight is mostly just going to be sitting back and receiving the information, more like an activation than an interactive call. So it's a little different than what we normally do. I had been doing the Ask an Angel call every week, and it was a lot energetically on my body with the other types of channeling and work I was doing. So I had to step back a little bit, but I'm feeling more energized and present and here for all of you now. All right, so I guess with that, we'll just kind of get started. Sunday, we'll have a different type of call, and you'll be able to write in questions that you have and that kind of stuff. And that's at 4 o'clock. And these calls are always free, so enjoy. All right. Oh, and you can make a donation if you feel called to at the end. It's always appreciated. All right, so everybody just want to drop into their body and take some nice deep breaths. Why don't we all just take a nice deep breath all the way in, and let go. My son likes to do something called a coffee breath. You can bring your hands and go all the way up, and then like a French press, push the energy down. Just really something about that when we use the hand. Breathe all the way in and drop down. You can kind of just feel the energy moving into the earth. One more time, all the way up and let go. All right, here we go. Hello.
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 Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, oh, hello. It is that we are delighted to be here from the angelic realm and to tune in and to communicate with all of you this evening. For it is that we recognize that it has not been an easy couple of years for many of you as you are experiencing a lot of change across your globe. And it is that we wish we could come from the angelic realm and swoop down and hold you in a basket of light and tell you that everything is going to go back exactly to the way that it was. But it is not, because you are moving very rapidly through a pinhole in a sense, and sometimes it feels as though you are being squeezed and you are moving through it, but we want you to know that it's going to open up, and when you reach the other side and the space expands, you're going to step into a new way of being. But right now you're in a process of a letting go. And this requires a letting go of so many things in which you have been used to that are familiar ways of being on many different levels. And this may be in relationships, or maybe around the way that you communicate with others. It could be around the way things are done, or the way in which you perceive institutions or governments or school systems, or all these things are shifting and changing very rapidly. And it's only going to intensify and increase. And we are not saying that in any way to frighten you, because there is absolutely nothing at all to be frightened of. And the reason there is nothing to be frightened of is we want to remind you of who it is that you are. You see, you have forgotten, as you're in this deep sleep, of the vastness of your being. And you have forgotten that you are the master creator of everything that is. And as you start to tune into the remembering of that, you recognize that you are creating even this upheaval that is happening. And you are doing it, although it's not conscious, you are knowing that it is the best interest of who it is that you are. As you are dropping out of this very, very deep forgetting, and you are dropping away from this place in which is deeply embedded in form and in matter, in ego, in victimhood, in shame, and in guilt, and you are releasing it collectively. And as you release it, more and more and more stuff keeps surfacing and coming to the top in order to be looked at and to be seen and to be felt. And as this new energy is coming in from an astrological point of view, there is a lot occurring right now in this particular month of October, and the energy is going to even intensify more. And what is very important is that you are grounded, and that you are centered, and that you are calm, and that you are able to navigate these changes with a sense of steadiness. And as this is happening, we are here to love and to support you. I want to remind you that we cannot be there or help you unless you call upon us, that you must ask us. But in the moment in which you put out that call, we come quickly from where it is that we are to support you. And so we are here tonight, and I'm here tonight not just as myself, as Archangel Raphael, but there are teams and teams of beings that are here alongside me. Many of them you are familiar with, and some not so much. Lots of different ascended masters, and a beautiful being that many of you know well, that has the name in your understanding as Quan Yin is here. And Quan Yin is coming in to pour light of compassion all over all of you. Because it is that in order for you to fully awaken to the remembering of who it is that you are, anything that has been cast over you that keeps you embedded in the old narrative and the old paradigm and the old belief system and the old way of being needs to come back into balance. And so it is that before you come to Earth, as many of you are very well aware, you make decisions as to the choice, first of all, to be here. And so we've all chosen to be present during this great transition and time of change across the planet. And you've all chosen to participate in it, in the awakening and to remembering who you are. And you've all chosen to drop into a narrative of a collective consciousness that isn't fully awakened, knowing that in your lifetime, you would break that paradigm into the remembering of the divinity that you are. And so that's really, from a larger perspective, what is occurring right now on Earth. And in order for you to be able to navigate this process, it is that system that you were born into, which is a collective understanding and belief systems that you've all decided somehow was true. And many of those things that you've all agreed upon are simple stories, whether it be how money works and finances, whether it be simple things about laws that you have created that you can or cannot do, or ways in which you teach each other, or systems that you are involved in, or education, or jobs, or all of these things that you have put in place that have designed a certain system that is based in separation and is based in hierarchy, is based in some of you are greater or less than another. Some of you have more money or less than others. All these ideas are a system in which you have known to be what life is about, which you were born into. And from the moment you are conceived until about the age of 7, you are influenced by these belief systems. They begin to permeate your energetic field, creating an imprint on a cellular level. And so you become a part of a web. It is a consciousness that is a collective, unified understanding or an agreement. And each of you play your part in that agreement, and you go about the experiences in which you have and your ways of contributing, and the feelings of great joy and the feelings of great sorrow or grief or pain. And you grow and you expand and you shift and you change, and you become more and more filled with light as you move through the years, and you have more wisdom and understanding. But it is that the way in which the human collective consciousness has operated for quite some time, in this agreement that you all agreed upon, the fabric of that, in a sense that was based in separation and hierarchy, is beginning to dissolve. And as it dissolves, it can feel a little uncomfortable as you begin to question the narratives that have been told to you from the moment in which you were born, in which you were born into to be true. And you begin to look at that as potentially that it is reflecting something that is not in alignment with bringing unity and bringing love, bringing compassion and equality across the globe. And as Mother Earth is feeling the pain of this narrative that is no longer in alignment with the beating heart of her vibration and energy, she is speaking out, and she is showing her ways in order for you to begin to attune to her. And so what's going to happen is that as this old way of being begins to shift and change, and in many respects begins to dissolve and begins to collapse, it is that more and more light is flooding the planet in such a large quotation that it's almost hard for you to potentially even fathom that it is coming in. And as it's doing that, it's breaking down these systems, not only externally in the things that you witness or see perhaps in the news or globally or events, but it's occurring inside each and every one of you. And this new moon, the reason we wanted to get together with all of you from the angelic realm is because we want to assist you in releasing any old patterns or energies or triggers or burdens or wounds that happened to you during that very, very important time of developing consciousness, so that from the time you are in your mother's womb all the way up to the age of 7, all the things that you have agreed upon or that you knew to be true or that you put in place as the belief systems of how you viewed and saw the world, we want to bring them back into balance so that they are aligned not with the vibration and the energy of separation, but with the vibration and the energy of unity. And so we're going to do what we call an activation for all of you this evening. And in doing so, we're going to be recalibrating your electromagnetic field on a deep cellular level, all the way down to the DNA, where we are going to go in And any energies that's a little fragmented or has discordant energy that is not harmonized with the feeling and the energy of something vibrating from either the vibration of the heart or above, we're going to go in and we're going to neutralize it. We're not going to get rid of it because you need to embrace all aspects of self, but we're going to take away the triggering aspect of it so that it is no longer something that is activated in you, that it continues to perpetuate separation and hierarchy. By doing this with all of you, this is going to affect not only yourself on a deep and personal level, but it's going to affect those around you, because your relationship with them and the way you interact with them will no longer be coming from a deep place of defensiveness or a sense of triggering, but will be much more neutralized, in which you will be the witness and able to observe from a much larger perspective what is occurring without it hitting, in a sense, your wounds. And so this is going to be happening on an energetic level. And although in the beginning we were just talking, we were just wanting to do that, actually, to be honest with you, to distract you so that we could calibrate. And when I say we, I'm talking about a collective group of ascended beings that are coming in now to do this for all of you. So all you're going to do now is to relax and to receive, and know that you're going to be receiving this on an energetic level. What it is we're wanting you to do is to close your eyes. And as you're closing your eyes, we want you to begin to tune into the awareness of who it is that you are. And we're wanting you to tune in to your a picture, if you are looking in the mirror, of yourself. And as you're looking in the mirror of yourself, we want you to identify with who you are. Perhaps you have, I'm sure you all do, a name. And we want you to just take that name and look at it and begin to see it slowly beginning to disappear. And we want you to start to see that the outline of your body is just beginning to disappear. And we want you to feel the internal aspect of the body. Perhaps it may be the beating of your heart or the breath of the lungs, and it's just starting to dissolve and disappear. I'm wanting you to just begin to feel a sense of emptiness and weightlessness, and start feeling that you are expanding way beyond the body, as the perimeter of the body that houses you is dissolving and beginning to fall away. And as it's falling away, you're expanding further and further. And now, as you begin to expand even more, the walls of the room that you are in begin to dissolve, and they begin to fall away. And as they fall away, you begin to expand your energy even further. And as you're doing this, you're going to open up and feel the location of the town or city that you are in. And as you tune into the awareness of it, keep expanding and expanding who you are. And as you're doing that, see it beginning to dissolve and disappear. As you are moving out and expanding even further, you're beginning to float. And as you float above, you're starting to feel and embrace the energy of the earth itself. And as you expand even further, the earth is dissolving before you, as you are just beginning to float now out in the space of nothingness. And as you are floating, you may begin to see some stars or distant planets, and they too begin to dissolve as you find yourself just floating now in an empty black sea of nothingness. This nothingness of the expansion of all that is exactly who it is that you are. You are absolutely nothing, and yet you are everything that was described as well. You are the 0 point of consciousness itself. And as you float out in this empty space, this is a place in which you dwelled before you were born. And you were just held and embraced in this space of everything and nothingness with a great consciousness of unconditional love. And as you were held in this space of unconditional love, there was a pulling. And in that pulling, there was a knowing of the breath as you began to move back inward, breathing in and spiraling down a vortex of energy all the way down until you began to land in the womb of your mother. And we're wanting you now to just tune in and just feel, because there is an awareness, not a conscious memory, but an awareness and a knowing of the moment in which you arrived inside the womb, in which you entered the vessel of the fetus, where your consciousness merged with that fetus in the womb of your mother. You began to feel the beating of her heart. And as you began to work together, you were a unit, unified together as you were dependent upon her, as she nourished and loved you. And you were just floating there inside her womb. And this was the very beginning of you starting to identify with the idea that you were an energy of conscious awareness as you began to become imprinted by the energy of her feelings and her thoughts, of outside influences, words that were spoken and things that were happening. And so you don't have to fully tune into the knowing of that, but something may begin to flood in, a memory or an understanding of what it was like at that time for your mother or your family, or what was happening in the world or the circumstances. What was the consciousness of your mother, your family unit? What was their thinking? What was the energy like? What was the world like? And knowing that you began to absorb that consciousness inside who it is that you are, as it began to form an awareness of the identity of you as you became connected to all of that. And so we're wanting you to tune in to that. And as you're doing it, if the memory of anything comes up at all around that feeling of being in the womb or what is happening, Quan Yin is going to come in now to where you are inside the womb and bringing a light of compassion. And as she moves toward you, she's going to begin to pour it in and around you as it begins to encase you in a light that allows you to hold the knowledge and the remembering of who you are, that you are a divine, magnificent being, and that the extension of that entrance into the world that you made is not truly who it is that you are, as she's beginning to create a little bit of space between the energy of others and you, as you are expanding back to the remembering of your divinity. And as this happens, you're going to feel a contraction occurring. And as the contraction occurs, this is the moment in which you're planning to enter into the world. And this way that you entered might have been through the tunnel of the mother. It may have been that you were pulled out in a C-section. It may be that you came feet first or fanny first or head first. You might have slipped out with ease and grace, or it may have been many long and long hours. But we're wanting to tune in to that moment because the process of birth and the vibration around your birth and how you identified with that, if you were easy or hard, if you were a burden, if you were wanted or unwanted, if others were sick or if you were sick, what was happening in your home, in and around you. All of this has an imprint that affects who it is that you are. And we're creating a space between this as we keep expanding and expanding now the universal light of who you are. So the imprint of the consciousness of what was occurring is no longer affecting your energetic field, as we're bringing in now a picture of light, and it begins to pour down and clear any discordant energy in any and all of you listening to this that affected the process of you coming into the world. And as you moved through and entered and took your first breath, and as you began to have an awareness that you were separate from your mother, tuning into the fact that you were here on earth, feeling the heaviness of the gravity and the brightness of the light and the noise and the sound. Perhaps there was a place where you were placed somewhere that was plastic or a metal, or fortunate enough to be pulled up to the mother's bosom to feel her heartbeat, or perhaps you were separated and placed somewhere far away or put in a crib. All of this has an effect on you, and we are coming in now energetically, and we are clearing this as we are pouring a light on that timeline. Any discordant energies of feeling unwanted or abandoned, any sense of anything that was not in alignment with pure welcoming and unconditional love, we are dissolving now as we bring it into a state of neutrality. And now you're going to begin to tune into what it felt like in the first 6 months of being here on earth, as you became acquainted with the noise and the sounds, the familiarity of the mother's voice and her heartbeat, the food that was brought to you through a bottle or through the breast, the feeling of nourishment and connection. And in that time, if there was discordant energy or imprints upon you, creating a wound of rejection or a wound of abandonment, a wound of something in which you heard or felt, we're going in now and we are coming in to neutralize that energy as Quan Yin is pouring compassion in and all around you as a newborn infant. And now we're moving into the second phase of the second half of the first year, and we're moving in here as well. You might start to have some sense of awareness as you begin to tune in now to that moment. Are you in a crib, or are you laying next to your parents? Are you in a distant place? Are there lots of other children? Are you completely coddled and looked over and doted, or are you left to the side without much attention? Whatever may be occurring here, any discordant energy that created a trigger within your being, we are neutralizing now as we're going in and clearing that for you. And now we're going to go to the age of 1 as you begin to recognize that other things are outside of you, that are separate, that you're touching, that are yours or mine. As the ego is starting to come into form, we're wanting you to begin to tune into this and the surroundings around you. Are they pleasant or harsh? Are they soft? Are they sharp? Are they sweet? Are they sour? What is it you are feeling? And as you're tuning into this, tune into the characters in the play that you chose to play with, that you agreed that are part of your assignments in which you are here. And any energy now that needs to be neutralized in that first year, we're doing so. And we're moving in now to the second year. I'm wanting you to tune in and feel. Perhaps you can sense something in that year. Perhaps you have a memory of being outside, crawling on the floor, walking with a stroller, and playing in the yard, climbing a tree, or whatever you might be doing, playing with other children. Perhaps there are some toys or a feeling of something, or a blanket or a bed. Begin to tune into the sounds and the feelings of that time. And now, as you are this age, you might start to have a little bit of conscious memory, going to move into the age of 3. And at the age of 3, if you can tune in now to anything that you can bring conscious awareness to, if you want to bring us anything, you can gather the memory, any memory perhaps that is not in alignment with pure joy, any memory that may be an imprint or belief that is being carried to where it is that you are now. We can take it and put it in your hands and just lift it up to us as we are coming in to neutralize and rebalance it, as we are pouring a beautiful golden liquid light down upon it as it begins to dissolve. Moving in now to age 4. Bring any awareness to that time. Perhaps you're in nursery school or playing with the children. Perhaps there is a moment or a glimpse of seeing something or being fed a meal, looking at something or an image. Anything coming to mind which needs clarity and releasing, bring it to me, for I am neutralizing it along with the great legions of beautiful angels, as we are here tonight to neutralize these old patterns and energies. Moving into the age 5, you might remember the idea of this. Perhaps it brings an awareness to kindergarten or nursery school or a place in which you are going. Begin tuning in who it is that you are as you begin to identify with self. As you identify, perhaps you began to place a label that you are smart or that you are dumb, that you are creative or that you are not, that you are a good student or bad, that you are liked or you are unliked, that you are popular or unpopular, tuning in to the teacher or the story time or the moment, feeling the energy of that, and anything you want to bring to us to dissolve, to neutralize, bring it and carry it up to your heart as we're pouring golden liquid light now down on that timeline as we bring it into neutrality, moving in now to the age of 6. Perhaps at 6, you can see yourself playing a game with others. Perhaps you're moving into the next grade of first grade, tuning in to those who taught you or the places that you sat, the yard that you sat in, or the city noises, wherever it is that you are and what is occurring. Begin to attune to who you are and how you are beginning to identify yourself. And anything that is not in alignment with pure unconditional love and acceptance for who you are, a deep compassion that you are a magnificent and beautiful, divine, capable, smart, lovable being of light. Anything other than that, we are now dismantling, dissolving, and neutralizing as we are bringing and flooding light from the heavens into your being. We're wanting you to move now into the age of 7. And at the age of 7, you have formed of consciousness, bringing from the moment of conception through the birth canal, through all the years to where you are now, creating an energetic field around you that is projecting a reflected mirror of who it is that you believe you are. And if it is reflecting anything that other purity of love and joy, that you are a magnificent being of light, the master creator of your experience, filled with absolute capable possibilities for all that is, anything that is not in alignment with complete, absolute, unconditional love for self, we're moving in now as Quan Yin comes and pouring down golden liquid light into the crown of your head and through your body, into all the cells and tissues and organs, neutralizing it, dissolving it, and opening that space, because it is that you are moving now into a new place in which we have neutralized these energies, and we're asking you on this very, very powerful new moon that you may begin now to put in place an anchor, an imprint inside of who you are, what it is that you believe that you are in this now moment. So we're going to take a moment of silence, and in doing so, Know that an opening has been created now within your energetic field that allows you to choose to re-imprint your whole consciousness that was formed from the moment of conception to the age of 7, that has reflected and told you up to this now moment who it is that you are, what it is that you're good at, why it is that you are liked or unliked, and you get to shift it and form it, that you are safe, that you are capable, that you are lovable, that you are magnificent, that you are beautiful, that it is your birthright to be in abundance, that you are creative, that you share your gifts with the world with ease and grace, that you are filled with vitality and energy and health and light, that you are beaming beautiful, bright energy of love that is born into this world to live during this great time of change, and that you have awakened now to that remembering of the knowing of the I am that I am. And in that, we want you to begin to hold that new imprint of the vision of who it is that you are. It is the vision of who it is that you choose to be from this moment forward, taking in the vibration and the energy of the great assistance occurring this evening as the angels and the beings of light come, as Quan Yin is here. The Divine Mother is here. Metatron is here. Melchizedek is here. Archangel Michael is here. Archangel Zadok is here. Archangel Gabriel is here. The Elohim is here. The Galactic Federation is here. The Great Brotherhood of Light is here. The Divas are here. And the fairies and the elementals. It is that there are endless, beautiful, ascended beings of light coming in from all the crystalline cities and realms around, all of the energies in, out, and around Mother Earth, as they are filling you with this beautiful light in your cup, so that you may be full and clear, vibrant and healed, ready to begin to meet the new earth. As you must know now that you are birthing a new earth, you are moving through a canal, and as you come out the other side, you will be born, in a sense, in a new way, to perceive and see things from a new perspective. And this clearing of these imprints and this energetic activation and update will support you in seeing the beauty and the perfection in everything, even that which in the past perhaps you have perceived to be something other than perfection, knowing it is all aligning in perfect timing for your highest good, propelling you and moving you forward to the remembering of who it is that you are. Wow, we have just harnessed the energy of the new moon to activate your entire energetic field, to recalibrate it to the vibration of unconditional love, self-acceptance, and beauty, remembering that you are unified with all that is, imprinting now a new belief system based in unity and acceptance, allowing you now to go forward as you interact during these intense and magnificent times, to be able to navigate them with ease and grace, allowing the divinity that resides within to be completely and fully expressed. And with that, I send to you all of my love and all of my light, as we will be pouring more and more light as you sleep tonight, permeating every single cell, lighting it up within your being as you begin to sing a song that resonates with the higher vibration of the new octave frequency that is being embedded at this particular moment in time across your globe. Many blessings and good night. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining the call this evening. It's glad that we were able to connect. You're going to probably really feel that energy continuing to come in for the rest of the evening and tonight. Let me see if I can unmute everybody. Hold on. Allow participants to unmute themselves.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you so much,
Blessings.
Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yes, yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Kelly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Gracias a
Kelly.
todos. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you guys. Love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kelly.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Blessings.
Sending light back to you.
Okay, thanks. All right, enjoy your evening. You're going to keep feeling it all night. So just be open to the reception of that. And I love you guys. I'll see you Sunday for our Sunday call. Okay,
Love
everybody.
you.
Love you so much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and
you.
thank you for all your donations.
Bye.
Okay, bye
Love
everyone.
you, everyone.
Love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Mm.